You know, when we think of the pelvis, most of us just picture a simple bowl of bone, right? But what if I told you it's actually more like Grand Central Station for your lower body? Seriously, it's this bustling, super complex hub that orchestrates everything from walking to just standing still. We're about to pull back the curtain on the hidden systems that make it all happen. I mean, really think about it for a second. Every step you take, every time you get up from a chair, it all feels so automatic, doesn't it? But behind the scenes, there's this incredible storm of lightning-fast commands making it happen. So where is mission control for all of this? Well, the answer is buried deep inside your pelvis. So the secret to the pelvis's power, it lies in three perfectly integrated systems. First, you've got the electrical grid that sends all the signals. Then you have the fuel lines that deliver the power. And finally, there's the muscular foundation that actually does all the heavy lifting. Let's break down how each one works, and we'll start with the grid.
All right, first up, the electrical grid. This is your nervous system. Think of it like all the intricate wiring that transmits every single command from your brain and spinal cord, shooting down to the muscles of your lower body, telling them exactly what to do and when to do it.
Okay, here's a key term you're going to want to know. Plexus. I know, it sounds complicated, but just picture a massive electrical junction box in a building. It's where all the individual nerve wires come together, they get sorted out, and then they're routed to their final destinations. Simple as that. And here they are, the two main junction boxes for the pelvis. You've got the lumbar plexus, which is located a bit higher up, and the sacral plexus, right below it. These two hubs, they are the absolute core of the pelvic nervous system. They organize every single signal that's heading for your hips, your legs, and your pelvic floor. Now, coming out of this grid is one of the most famous, or maybe infamous nerves in the entire body, the sciatic nerve. If you think of the plexuses as the junction boxes, then think of the sciatic nerve as a massive power line carrying a huge electrical load all the way down to the rest of the leg. And this isn't just any old nerve. We're talking about the largest single nerve in your whole body. It branches right out from that sacral plexus we just looked at. Its job? Oh, just controlling nearly all the muscles in your leg and foot. And if you've ever heard of sciatica, that intense shooting pain, that is exactly what happens when this major power line gets pinched or irritated. Okay, so we've got the signals, but signals are pretty useless without power, right? That brings us to our second system, the fuel lines. These are the arteries, the body's own high-pressure plumbing, and they're delivering that oxygen-rich blood that makes everything happen. The journey this fuel takes is actually pretty straightforward. It all starts on this massive highway called the abdominal aorta. Then that highway splits at a major fork into the common iliac arteries. From there, each side splits again into two main routes. One goes internally to the pelvic organs, and the other goes externally, continuing down the leg.
This dual view really helps clarify that split. From the front, we see the main path, right? But the side view, that's where the magic happens. Notice how the internal iliac artery just dives deep into the pelvis to supply the internal organs, while the external iliac stays closer to the surface, making its journey down the leg.
And just to give you a sense of scale, get this. That main fork, the common iliac artery, is only about 0.3 to 0.4 inches wide. That's roughly the diameter of a standard pencil. Isn't that incredible? To think about the sheer volume of blood that flows through that relatively tiny pipe every single minute just to power your legs. So we've got the signals and we've got the fuel. Now we need the machinery to actually put it all into action. And this brings us to our third system, the muscular foundation, what we also call the pelvic floor. These are the muscles that provide all the support and carry out the commands. Now, a quick but really important note here. The diagrams we're looking at show a female pelvis, but the fundamental muscular structures we're about to cover, they are crucial and present in all bodies. The core principles of support and function are totally universal. So, the best way to picture the pelvic floor is as this strong, flexible, muscular hammock sitting at the base of your torso. The main parts are the big levator ani muscle group, which literally translates to lifter of the anus, and the smaller coccygeus muscle. Together, they form this amazing supportive base for all your pelvic organs. And let me tell you, this foundation does some seriously heavy lifting. I mean, it supports your pelvic organs, it tenses up to resist pressure when you cough or sneeze or lift something heavy, and it's absolutely vital for maintaining bladder and bowel control. This is the true base of your core, and it's essential for everything from your posture to your athletic power. But here's what's so cool. This hammock isn't just a solid sheet of muscle.
It has these purposeful, designed openings called hiatuses. These gaps are what allow things like the urethra and the anal canal to pass through the muscular floor. It's really a brilliant piece of anatomical engineering.
So, we've covered the electrical grid, the fuel lines, and the muscular foundation. Now for the most important part. Let's see how these three systems work together in this perfectly coordinated dance.
It all works in a perfect sequence. Let's say you need to tense your pelvic floor. First, a signal travels from the sacral plexus. Instantly, the arteries deliver the fuel, that oxygen-rich blood, to the muscles that need to work. And finally, you get the action as the pelvic floor muscles contract in response. Signal, fuel, action. It all happens in a fraction of a second, thousands of times a day, without you even thinking about it.
So, the key takeaway here is this. The pelvis isn't just a passive bowl of bones at all. It is a dynamic command center, a master coordinator of movement and support, and really, the hidden hub for some of our body's most essential functions.
And that kind of leaves us with a final question for you. Now that you can see this incredible connection between nerves, arteries, and muscles, what's one daily activity, maybe it's climbing stairs, lifting a grocery bag, or even just standing up, that you'll think about in a completely new way?